We are heading back to school in this week's Red Couch Rewind. Welcome in. I'm your host, Melissa Bruner. This is where we recap those top interviews you've seen on Eye on Northeast Kansas, the TV show. We bring that to you live Monday through Friday, 4 o'clock Central Time, and streaming live out of our WIBW TV studios in Topeka, Kansas. And around Northeast Kansas, a lot of our area school districts, most of them are now heading back to school already. Can you believe summer vacation is over? So we invited leaders from some of our area districts on to talk about things they are looking forward to in the new year. Let's start with Topeka Public Schools, USD 501. Their superintendent, Dr. Tiffany Anderson, was joined by French Middle School Principal Kelly Hoffman and Dustin Dick, who is principal of both Topeka High and TCALC, the Topeka Center for Advanced Learning and Careers. Here's what they're looking ahead to. Welcome to all of you. And we're like, what can we talk about? There's so much going on this year, Dr. Henderson. What is the headline for you as we get ready to get the kids back?
Well, first of all, the reminder that it's the 11th and the 12th. Some students come the 11th and some the 12th, but our mission is to engage, prepare, and inspire. So that is the headline. In fact, that's why I'm dressed like I am today. We had our convocation for our staff. And
we got video of the convocation for your staff. You guys always have a good time. Is there something embarrassing in the video? You guys always have a good time. Topeka High drum line is there. So you've got all the fun things for kids to engage.
Yes. We want students not only ready, but really running to get to school. So there are some new things that are occurring legislatively as well, but we have expanded courses, a variety of things for teachers, but for our families, we have a variety of new programs as well. So we're really excited.
And let's talk, we were talking about that before we came on the air, legislatively, the bell-to-bell cell phone ban. That's gotten a lot of attention, although Kelly, you were saying for the middle school level, how much of a change is this actually going to be, and really how does it work?
Well, luckily our district was ahead of the game, and at the middle level we did not allow students to have cell phones bell to bell, and so that piece of it has not changed for us. It really allowed students to be more engaged with each other during downtimes, but also just took a lot of distraction out of the instructional classroom. It's been great.
What did you all notice? Your middle school level, your high school level, what did you guys notice when you didn't have the phones?
I noticed, like, especially at lunch, you see kids actually engaged in conversation. We even would have kids bring checkers out. They'd be playing Uno, cards at the table, so you just kind of see some old school type activities.
A lot of the same things for us at high school. We noticed kids, especially in the cafeteria. At first we thought, well, it's a lot more loud in here than it has been before, but really when you looked around, it was kids were talking and engaged with one another and not looking at their phone and doing that. So it was good noise. They were really enjoying just sitting and being able to talk with each other.
Part of the law governs social media and how districts are allowed to, and staff members allowed to and able to communicate on social media. So what's the big change that we're going to see there, and how is 501 handling it?
So that, I think, is really the biggest and most complex change that's coming with part of what that law is. So we've had to look at what we can do. So we can't interact with people or students, especially on social media anymore. We can't friend students. We can't interact in comments with students. Everything that we do has to be board approved as a communication tool, and then it has to be something that administratively we can go back and monitor that conversation if we need to later for some reason. So we've approved things like our district email. We can correspond with students through email. We can do that through our student information system as an email function in there that we can do that through. All of our teachers use Google Classroom already, so students can continue to use Google Classroom to interact with the teachers. We are in the process of implementing Parent Square as just a new district-wide communication tool that will allow coaches and others with activities to correspond with the groups of athletes and students that they need to. Teachers can do the same, all the way down to individual communication if we need to within there, but groups as a whole. There is a function for parents that we hope to roll out soon in the implementation where there's a Student Square app that we will push out to all of our student Chromebooks. And so if a parent needs to communicate with their student during the day, they can do that through the app. So
that takes care of the cell phone concern.
That takes care of the cell phone concern. They can message through the app, and only within your family, so you can't message somebody else's student, and students can't message one another. But within your family, a parent can message a student, or a student can message their parent through there if they want.
But just not on the social media, because I think about that. You all post a lot on social media. You make announcements on social media.
Yep.
But then, we'll look at the comments too, and we'll see a parent might ask for a clarification. You're not going to be able to respond to those necessarily.
We can respond to adults.
But you have to know it's an adult.
Yeah, so we'll have to look up, make sure that it is an adult. We even have a message prepared that says, due to legislation, we aren't unable to speak to students, and therefore Parent Square and these other venues that he just talked about are ways to be able to communicate. But a lot of times people will use social media in a way that we can look up and see who it is. And a lot of people will identify themselves. I'm the parent of such and such. I'm a family member that lives here. So it creates an opportunity. I always say there are no real problems or challenges, there are opportunities. It's why we have leaders and all kinds of folks that help kind of navigate that. So this opportunity has allowed us to further expand the platforms, as well as find ways to make sure that we can truly monitor those as well.
Because there's a safety concern here. You don't want any inappropriate communication.
There is. Now, we're still posting on social media, and if you're an adult, we'll still interact once we confirm you're an adult. And if we're not sure, we'll be suggesting that you go to one of those platforms.
Okay, makes sense. Kelly, something that you're being involved in, this is not something that will change this year. It's a discussion we had with the mayor when he visited the Red Couch. He was sitting in your same spot earlier this week, but it's the debate over school resource officers. Topeka police officers are in all of your high schools or in the middle schools as well?
Middle schools.
In the middle schools. Just the middle schools. So for you,
Police Department.
the Topeka Police Department actually has officers. So this is beyond the 501 force. Why do you feel they're important? And this discussion is going to be had in line with the budget discussions that are coming up for the city budget. Why do you want to see them keep them there?
Our Topeka police officers in our middle schools are just crucial in building an engaging relationship, positive relationship with our students at a time when young people aren't always viewing the police as a resource, as at a positive light. These officers are embedded in 6 different communities across Topeka. They get to know the families. They are the face of the police department for over 2,500 families.
And why do you feel it should be a Topeka police officer as opposed to a Topeka Public Schools police officer?
The Topeka Police Department brings additional resources. We have a critical incident. They're a direct line to the police department, so things can be handled and coordinated in a more efficient way. Their jurisdiction is beyond our school campus and into the community. Oftentimes when we have things happening in the community on the weekends or tragedies happening in the evenings, the patrol officers will refer families and students back to the school resource officer because they know them and have a relationship and are able to just get more information and help facilitate additional resources to those families.
Well, these are discussions that will continue over the next several weeks. Meantime, next Tuesday and Wednesday, USD 501 heads back to class. Everybody be careful when you're out there, no matter where your neighborhood is. The kids are going to be crossing the streets, excited for school, so everyone be careful. Thank you all so much. Have a great school year. Obviously a lot going on in Topeka Public Schools. Also a lot going on in Geary County Schools, the Junction City, Fort Riley area. Their superintendent is Dr. Reggie Eggleston, and it's a very unique district as it blends both your traditional public school environment along with the federal government and those who are on the military post of Fort Riley. So how do they address all of that? It's a little bit different on back to school time there. Welcome to you, sir.
Well, thank you for having me here. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about USD 475.
Do you have your new shoes, your new outfit all picked out for day one?
Well, not yet, but hey, we'll get there. We'll get there.
It is right around the corner. It seems like summer vacation goes so fast. We just had our representatives of the military here. How do you help the new folks adjust in your school district? Because you have a lot of military families moving in and out, so I imagine you got lots of first day of school students.
We do. 50% of our students are military connected, so this summer we know we've had an influx of new families to come in, and we've tried to put resources out there for them to help them in this transition. You were talking about the Purple Heart. We are a Purple Star school district, which means we are military friendly, and so we try to have resources available. We will have community meetings just to make sure parents are aware of all the resources, programs, and just academic aspects of the district are known to them. And so, again, we do everything we possibly can to make the transition as easy as possible.
It is fascinating to me that because you have that extra level that you have to do in your district. Also, what I find interesting is last week it was announced that you'll be one of 6 school districts piloting a new way of doing assessments. Right now, most districts have them once a year toward the end of the year. You're going to do them quarterly, correct? How is that going to work, and what do you hope to learn from that?
Well, we're excited about it and honored to have this opportunity. It will give us an opportunity to really see how well students are doing all throughout the year and not just that one touch point at the end. We will reduce some of the other assessments that we've been using, so that does help teachers take a deep breath, not just one more thing added to the plate. But each quarter, teachers will have an opportunity to visit the data, see if we need to make any adjustments to our curriculum, maybe go back, reteach some information to students, because it's all about helping students master the material. Yes, we want to know we're doing well, but ultimately we want to make sure every student is getting a quality education, mastering those standards, those objectives, so ultimately they can go on and do bigger and better things in life.
How helpful is that going to be to the teachers? Because I imagine, you know, a teacher can be going through the school year thinking that the kid is catching on, then you get to the end of the year, realize, oh shoot, they weren't. Now we're going to go to summer vacation.
Right.
So how helpful is it going to be to maybe do some course correction throughout the year?
I think it's very helpful, and it gives us an opportunity to be proactive, to get in front of deficits that students may be experiencing, and to even challenge students who are performing very well. We always think of one end of the spectrum, but ultimately we want to make sure all students, whether it's a student that's struggling or students that's performing well, all are being pushed to their maximum again so that they can all do well.
Interesting. It'll be really cool to see how this all turns out. You guys are welcoming back your kindergartners and preschoolers to a new facility, correct?
We are. We will be opening our early childhood center this year. It will have 21 out of the 32 that will be open, and we'll continue to grow and build on that. But very excited about the opportunity to welcome families to the center, and I know the staff is excited. We met with the building administrator and his team yesterday, and they are just pumped up and just ready to get started.
Why invest in that end of the
Well,
age spectrum?
we know that if we can have early intervention, really work with students at that age group whose minds are developing, they're like sponges, and if we can start out right, helping them have a value for education and excitement for it, we believe it will filter all the way through their pre-K-12 experience.
So fun. Dr. Eggleston, thank you so very much. Always
Thank
good
you.
to see you. Have a great new year.
But thanks so much.
We're going to check the forecast as we head toward. We love keeping up with all our schools and all the things our school kids are doing, so be sure to keep us posted throughout the year. We would love to show them off and be proud of their achievements right alongside you. Also, we marked Purple Heart Day. It was Friday, August 10th, and to mark the occasion, Kansas is now a Purple Heart state. Ahead of that, we were proud to welcome to the Red Couch Brett Whitten. He is a U.S. Army veteran who served and was wounded in the Middle East. Also, Bill Turner. He is a retired Brigadier General and now is Executive Director of the Kansas Office of Veterans Services. Here's why they say we need to pause and remember. For the Purple Heart, Purple Heart Day is Friday. What is that day all about?
Okay, so it really kind of harkens back to all the way back to 1782 when President or then General George Washington first enacted a badge of merit that was to be presented to soldiers back then. He wanted to find some way to recognize gallantry, fidelity, and service of their soldiers. And so he started it back then. And then it kind of evolved, and all the way up to 1932, the Purple Heart was actually enacted then as we know it today, being awarded, as you described, for combat, wounded, or killed veterans as a result of enemy action. And so now what's happened is, in recent legislation from the last legislative session, it was House Bill 2274, the legislature and the governor signed into law a law to recognize Kansas as the Purple Heart state, and then to recognize August 7th as Purple Heart Day here in Kansas.
What does Purple Heart State mean?
So right now it's about Kansas being recognized as a supporter of and an advocate for, and actually to honor and pay tribute to veterans who have been awarded the Purple Heart as a result of their actions in combat.
And Brent is one of about 2,500 Kansans living who have received the Purple Heart. Thank you for your service. First of all, what branch did you serve in? Where did you serve?
I was in the Army, and I was in the 4th Infantry Division from Fort Hood, Texas, and I was serving in Baghdad, Iraq at the time of my injury.
When did that happen, and what happened? Whatever you care to share.
Sure. Almost 20 years ago, September 2006, I was on a routine patrol, doing a presence patrol, basically driving around, letting Iraqis know that we're there to protect them. And I was a gunner in a Humvee. You kind of sit in the sloped gunner seat on that position there on a little sling basically. And you don't really see much from that position. We had to be hunkered down because we were getting sniped at. I remember waking up, I call it waking up from a nap that I never took. I just remember waking up and my body was on fire. There was smoke everywhere. I couldn't see. I was probably unconscious for anywhere between 5 seconds and a minute. I don't know. But what happened was at a VBED, a vehicle-borne IED, someone drove into our Humvee and exploded it.
But you remember waking up and seeing and feeling, and I imagine smelling.
Smell smoke. I checked my legs, make sure my legs are there, arms are there, and then I couldn't move my legs, one of my legs at least. So I'm not sure how I did it, but I pulled myself out of the turret, and I think I rolled on the hood and rolled on the ground, and I could hear shots going off. It turned out my ammunition was kicking off from my machine gun in the turret. And then I was taken to a medevac site in Germany, or in Iraq, then to Germany, then eventually to Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio, Texas, because I had broken hip, first, second, third degree burns on my body. I didn't know at the time, TBI, traumatic brain injury. And then, so a lot of things are wrong with me. I've recovered pretty well, thankfully. There's still some aches and pains every day, but overall, I contribute that to my diet of Texas Roadhouse rolls right after my injury. So
there's always something, right? There's always the positive side to look at. What does the Purple Heart mean to you?
So it means a lot to me. No one joins the military, at least no sane person would join the military thinking, I'm going to go earn the Purple Heart. Right. It's not something that you earn by being a good marksman or being a good soldier. It's something that happens to you. And a lot of times people say to me, well, I'm sorry about your accident. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't on purpose. So for me, it means that I'm honored to have it, because there's been people that are far worse injured than me currently and before me that had it. So I'm just honored to be associated with those people. I'm proud that is something that I did in service to my country, that I don't have to worry about when I'm 80 years old, what did I do with my life? This is an example of something that I did with my life and that I can be proud of, and hopefully my family and the nation will be proud of as well.
How do you work to pay it forward?
I do several things. One thing that I do is, the logo on the shirt is the Wounded Warrior Project, and I volunteer with them in various capacities. One capacity is a warrior advocate leader, and I advocate for veterans policies on a national and a state level for issues that may be beneficial to all veterans. I do speaking engagements for schools, businesses, clubs, just telling about my story, not so much because my story is important, because about people that serve alongside me is important, that still need the care today, more so than I do.
Would you do it all again?
100%.
Yeah.
Not right now. A little too old now, but 20 years ago, I'm glad I did.
I would like to add, though, I think that Brent's, you asked what it meant to him. I will tell you that it meant so much more to all the rest of us that are standing beside him and serving beside him. His acts of bravery, of courage, of sacrifice are what inspired those that served with him. And he may not agree to that, or he may not think about that all the time, but he needs to know that his actions inspired a whole cohort of people that were there serving beside him and those that followed him. And so that's amazing to all of us.
Absolutely. Not just on National Purple Heart Day, but every day we extend our thanks to all of those who served. We have a lot of fun activities coming up around Northeast Kansas. That includes just weeks away from launching the annual Kansas State Fair. Hear what is on the agenda when the Red Couch Rewind returns. Welcome back into the Red Couch Rewind. We are weeks away from the Kansas State Fair. Every September, people head to the fairgrounds in Hutchinson to look at the best work of our 4-H'ers from across the state, some open class exhibits, and of course, a lot of great entertainment going on as well. Their theme this year is celebrating America's birthday. The fair's director, Brian Schultz, visited the show to tell us some of the highlights. Thanks for stopping in, putting us on your schedule.
Absolutely, love it.
There is so much going on at the State Fair this year. So America 250, how are you carrying out the theme?
Well, we're 35 days away from kickoff. So that's
Not that you're counting.
Exactly, every morning, yes. So we have incorporated the theme of 250 in everything that we're doing, from our ribbons to our decorations to everything on the grounds, including some of our entertainment. So yeah, anything and everything has to do with 250 or our 9/11 celebration.
You're going to have to turn the logo red, white, and blue.
I know.
We'll do that. Yeah. We'll replace the yellow with some red next
sounds great.
So yes, you start off on 9/11, and this year is 25 years since the 9/11 attacks. How are you going to commemorate that?
Well, we always kick off on Friday morning at 11 o'clock. We will have a moment of silence. We're going to do some special things with our color guards. We're working with the fire department to bring in a very large flag that will hang all day long. And then that evening, we have Trace Adkins as our entertainment on the grandstand, and we'll be recognizing 5 veterans from across Kansas with our hometown heroes. And we have been told that Trace is going to be coming out and presenting an award to each of those 5. So we're very excited about that.
Well, he has done some work with veterans groups,
Absolutely.
and so what an appropriate act
Absolutely.
to begin with.
Yes.
But the fair itself is a celebration of all things Kansas. So
Most
what are some of
definitely.
the other highlights that you're seeing this year?
You know, this year we're also celebrating 120 years of 4-H, and then we've got a little red schoolhouse that welcomes all of our kids that come for field trips, and that's 35 years as well. So we've got lots of celebrations this year. Our big slide has been painted red, white, and blue for this year.
That's fun.
Our Bison Arena, which was built back in the 1930s, and that was the official livestock show area, that is going to be open as part of a new piece that we're going to be putting in the next couple of years, completing that, and that's our Ag Innovation Center. But we'll be doing a lot of things in there as well. So.
Will there be a butter sculpture?
Absolutely, yes. We couldn't do the fair without a butter sculpture.
Do you have any idea what it's going to be this year?
I can't tell. I'm sorry.
You're sworn to secret. No one will hear if you just tell me right now. Give me
exactly,
a little scoop on that.
Actually, I'm sworn to secrecy by them. They said, Brian, we're not even telling you because we know that you're going to be on with the media,
can't keep
and
a
you
secret.
might slip up a little bit. Yes.
So, and you mentioned 4-H and the anniversary for 4-H. It is such a big part of the fair because,
Absolutely.
of course, as we go and we do all of these activities, the 4-Hers have been working at their own county fairs to qualify for the
Most
state fair.
definitely.
So, for folks who are wondering what kind of exhibits, what kind of things they can see, who's all going to be there? What's all going to come out?
Well, you know, as far as the 4-H stuff, they have everything from sewing to livestock. Our first weekend is our grand drive, which brings in about 1,000 kids and their animals, and these are some of the best of the best. So, I mean, everything you can imagine that 4-H is and stands for is going to be at our fair this year.
So I grew up in Wisconsin, where fairs meant all things fried and all things cheese.
Yes.
So what are some of the food things we're going to have at the fair?
You know, there are a few new things like the dirty dog.
What is that? Is that like a new take on the Pronto Pup?
Well, it's kind of, I think it's corn dogs with a jalapeno chili cheese on it. It's like a cheese dog.
Do you get to sample all of this when they say we want to add it to the menu?
Sometimes. You know, we just had our event that kicks off the fair for all of our community, and one of our vendors did put out some of that stuff, so it was pretty amazing.
It was pretty amazing.
Yeah,
So
pretty
we look
amazing.
forward to that.
Yep.
So you mentioned Trace Adkins kicking off your grandstand shows.
Yes.
Who else is going to be in the grandstand this
So
year?
we have Trace Adkins on Friday. On Saturday, we have a rapper by the name of Big X the Plug and Stella Lefty.
Okay.
And then on Sunday, we have Jody Messina. And Adam Doliak will be with her. On Mondays, our Demolition Derby. Tuesday's Hairball. And if you haven't seen Hairball, they're an 80s tribute band.
They were just at the Stormontvale Event Center, last month or the month before? Yes, people who see them just rave
Yep.
about them.
They've been good friends of mine for about 18 years, so I
can see you in the hairband
Yeah,
days.
exactly. That's Tuesday. Wednesdays are Christian night. We have Danny Goki, Colton Dixon, and Wallerco. On Thursday is Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, the comedian. Friday is Russell Dickerson with Atlas. And on Saturday, we're doing Rock the Fair. And we've got From Ashes to New, Saliva, and Saving Abel. And then we're closing out the 2026 Kansas State Fair with Channel 2K Live. And if you like things like High School Musical, the Cheetah Girls, all that kind of music, this will be an afternoon of fun with all that great music.
Kind of like a Disney show,
Yes.
Disney Channel type
Right,
tribute.
exactly.
I'm impressed that you did all of that from memory.
Yeah, it's a daily occurrence of trying to think of everything that we have to promote here at the Kansas State Fair.
So if someone's never been to the fair, what is like the first thing that you think they should do when they go in the doors?
Well, I think before they even leave their house, go to kansasstatefair.gov and look at, there's a section that says plan your visit. That'll talk to you about where you should park, how you can jump on one of the trams out in the parking lot that'll take you to one of the gates. Once you're at the gates, you can jump on one of the trolleys and tour the whole grounds. And then start making your plans from all the free stage entertainment. We've got a BMX show. We've got Fahrenheit. It's a little fire truck that's going to be driving around and teaching fire safety. We've got a 9-foot robot called Rocket that's going to be there hanging out. So we've got a lot of great things. So that'll help you plan it. We've also got things like Tasty Tuesday, so you can come out and try some of these new things for like $2 to $3. And then we have 4 after 4. We have all these other days where you can get in inexpensively. So go out there.
I was going to say, what is the fair admission?
It is $10 for an adult, $6 for a...
That's all, really?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. And you said there are some days where you can find different discounts too?
Dillon's Dollar Day on Monday. If you're a Dillon's card holder, it's free. Otherwise, it's $1. The first Friday is Young at Heart Day. And if you're 55 or older, you get in for $5. If you're a Kansas Lottery Play-On member, you get in for $5. So there's all these great opportunities to get out to the fair.
Super affordable. And you saw just a few of the highlights from, I couldn't fit on the entire lineup, but that was just a few highlights. KansasStateFair.gov is where you can see the entire show lineup and all of the highlights. Brian, thank you. You've got a lot coming up. Head to the State Fair's website so you can see the complete lineup. And as Brian mentioned, a lot of reduced admission days. So make sure you take a look at that, take advantage of it. Always fun to go check out the Kansas State Fair. We had a special basketball clinic in town, and the clinic itself is over, but there's some great perspective here that I think is important to listen to. Remy Njaya is player development specialist for the Miami Heat, the NBA team, and he has a connection to Topeka, which is how he ended up here doing a clinic that was a benefit for the Topeka chapter of the Lynx. They are an organization that is dedicated to our youth, and they were joined. So Lanessa Frazier came with Remy to the Red Couch to talk about this, and then Dale Cushenberry joined him. Dale was a principal in USD 501. He himself was a player and coach, and he talked about opportunity. Great visit, and I want you to hear just a little bit of it. We're glad you are here as well. But Remy, what's the Kansas connection? How'd you end up deciding to come here and do this?
I've been coming to Kansas for about 17 years. My host family lives here, and their son and I went to high school together. And since then, when she asked me about it, I did not hesitate at all because it's an opportunity for the kids. And somebody gave me an opportunity before. I'm like, you know what? I'm doing it.
What was your opportunity? You've worked with kids for a long time, but for you, where are you from and how did you end up here?
I'm originally from Senegal, West Africa, and I went to high school at Lake Forest Academy. And since then, I've been around the Basketball Without Borders, NBA Africa. So they used to come to Senegal and do clinics like that. So that opened up my eyes, and I wanted to give back the same way they did, and I wanted to do it in Topeka, Kansas.
So what kind of level are you looking at in terms of kids that you would like to see come? Do they have to be like all people who excel at basketball and are great, or do you like the beginners too?
I mean, it doesn't matter, second grader to 12th grader. As long as they can pick up the basketball and dribble, I just help them with the fundamentals.
How does this play into the mission that the Lynx does try to accomplish in the community?
A couple of different ways, actually. We are always looking for opportunities to get into the community and help impact families and youth within the Topeka community, and we've done that for almost 70 years as part of the Topeka Lynx. But also, a part of Saturday is going to be for those who are registered to bring a book to donate. Yeah. So a book that's pre-K through 8th, appropriate, and so that helps give back not only to our children here in the Topeka community, but also around the world. So
when you look at an opportunity like this, what does it mean to you to know that young kids can have this chance?
It's a great opportunity. As a person growing up in Topeka, being an athlete, I would have loved to have had something like this where somebody could teach you the basic skills of the game. A lot of people play the game of basketball, but they really don't know how to play the game. And so having someone can teach the fundamentals of the game helps you on the court, and also some of the guiding principles help you off the court as well. And as I was saying earlier, it's a way of being able to know how to score baskets in the gym, but to transition those guiding principles outside to score baskets outside the gym.
You saw that difference in the students that you've had over the years.
Yes. To me, there are a lot of individuals who have a lot of athletic ability, but they never reach their pinnacle because they don't understand how to play the game. And so having people to be able to come in and teach the fundamentals is just extremely valuable.
When you hear that, what is your first grounding piece of advice when you encounter a young person or even a person who's graduating college or nowadays first, second, third year and looking to make that next level? What is that, like that intangible that you're looking for?
Right. So first of all, my philosophy is to emphasize the education first. And because, like I said, not all of them are going to play like in the NBA. But with the education, they can work in the NBA. So that's the mentality I want to start with, to put in their head, like put the education first, and then the basketball, the fundamentals, like there are people around, people in the NBA all over the world that can help you with that. So that's the goal for Saturday.
And then when it comes to on the court, what would you say is the number one thing all kids should work on?
We will start with ball handling,
Okay.
passing, shooting. So those are the main three skills that we want to.
You mean it's, you didn't even mention slam dunks. You mean it's not all about mastering a windmill dunk and the showboating?
Maybe we'll have like a very explosive kids out there that can jump all over the gym.
But the point being that it's not about the show business, it's about that ground floor first.
Sure, but you know,
But it's fun.
It's fun as long as they have fun.
We had about 80 kids come through the clinic, so that's a lot of books and a lot of help and support for the Topeka, Kansas chapter of the Lynx. They do events all year round and, of course, dedicated to supporting young people through scholarships and other ways. So keep a look out for the Lynx. Maybe a chapter is near you, and see the good that they do. Living the Dream is another great group around our area, and they typically do a whole slate of events around MLK Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. However, yet last year they started this. This is their second annual So Soul Summer. It is a fundraiser to support not just the programs and activities that they will plan in January, but also the scholarship efforts that are integral to Living the Dream's mission. Anton Bugg and Amy German came to share the details. And I am all decked out for it because, Amy, this is a luau theme.
That's right.
You're not wearing yours?
I have mine up here.
Okay, there you go. You were in the spirit. How are you going to carry out this theme?
So
What do y'all have planned?
The entire thing is luau theme. So as you come in, you'll see all the decor and everything. The food will be themed. It's going to be beautiful.
Absolutely. And what all activities and things do you have planned to make this such a fun night?
Well, Anton here decided that he wanted to do the limbo. So
I'm going to be doing the limbo.
I can't wait.
So that should, if nothing else, that's a reason to buy a ticket.
But other stuff will happen throughout the evening as well.
Yeah, of course. We'll have a band.
We've got DJ Top City.
Oh, thank you.
DJ
Yes.
Top City,
We've
all
got
sorts of stuff.
Platinum Express. We've got Chef Hall with Toso Catering. So themed menu. It's going to be delicious. We've got silent auction. We've got a 50-50 raffle. So
Okay, I love auctions. What's on the silent auction?
amazing things.
That's all I need to know. Just
Amazing
amazing
things.
things.
It's going to be huge.
This is all for Living the Dream, right,
Yes.
Anton? What is the mission, for those who don't recall, of Living the Dream?
Well, Living the Dream has always been about community. It's always been about community. We do a lot of work with youth. We do a lot of work with other populations, from all the way from preschool to senior citizens, giving gift baskets. One of the things that we're trying to do this year is to increase scholarships and try to grow some of the programming that we're trying to create.
And I love that mission. It's always so impressive every year to see all the young people come up and all the scholarships that you're able to award. Living the Dream was founded by your parents.
Yes.
Yes. So, and now what are we, 40 years later?
41.
41 years later. Any
yes.
idea how much scholarship money you've given away in that time?
Close to 800,000.
Wow. You knew
Yes.
that number right like that. I love it. I love it. So this is all going to help raise that money. How are you going to kind of carry out that mission throughout the evening? Anything in particular besides the auction to raise money for it? What other highlights?
Do we want to talk about the legacy?
Do it.
Ooh.
All right.
I mean, if you don't want to reveal a winner, although I like it when people break
Yeah.
news and make announcements on the couch.
So one of the things that we're really excited about is the Bugs obviously set a very strong foundation for giving out scholarships for graduating seniors. But we're noticing that there are more and more non-traditional students or students who are going to tech school or getting their master's or whatever it is, and we don't have a mechanism to support them through Living the Dream yet. So one of the things we're looking at is building on the foundation we already have and starting what we're calling a legacy scholarship. And instead of being funded by individuals like the ones are now, these would be crowd-funded, if you will, where anyone can contribute. You know, you could put $5 in the fund, you could put $500 in the fund, whatever you want to give, and be part of helping some other students with some of their needs as they
traverse their education.
And so part of that will be kind of kicked off at Soul Summer.
Exactly.
I love the name of that. Anton, say the name.
Soul Summer.
And just because he likes to brag about this, I have always commented on Anton's voice and how it should be our soothing voice that we hear on TV every night. Yeah, so okay, all right, Amy's gonna have to live with him saying that some more. How do people go to this event? Because we want people to buy their tickets today. You have an incentive to buy your ticket today,
Yes,
right?
absolutely, because if you wait, it's going to cost you more at the door.
That's right, and tomorrow it'll cost you more. So go buy your ticket right now for Soul Summer 2, because it's the second annual event. We can call it annual now. It is from 6 to 11 p.m. Saturday, August 22nd at the Foundry Event Center over there just off. It's on Southwest 33rd, right off Topeka Boulevard, not far at all. So again, $60 for a ticket if you buy it today, $75 if you wait until tomorrow. So don't hesitate, snooze you lose, as they say. LTDTopeka.org is the website. I'll have a direct link on WIBW.com. So check out Soul Summer if you need a little summer luau to support living the dream. You can see these interviews and the interviews with all of the guests who come through our studios when you go to WIBW.com. Just click the Eye on Northeast Kansas section. We also have these segments all video on demand in their own little sections of our streaming platforms of WIBW+. That's our website, our news app, and if you have Roku, Apple Fire, all of those things, we've got a WIBW app there. Go ahead, click, download all of that. And while you're at it, you can check out all of the studio selfies, our little behind the scenes look when you go to my Facebook page, WIBW Melissa Bruner. Glad to have you along. Until next time, we'll see you on the Red Couch.